It's payday. You grab your phone, see the deposit notification, and suddenly life feels amazing. Bills? Who? Debt? Where? Groceries? Never heard of her. But then reality hits. Hard. Bills, bills, bills. They all come knocking almost out of the blue. And let me tell you, without a game plan, your payday quickly turns into a stress day. I learned that the hard way. I remember this one time, halfway through the month, I was living off instant noodles like a broke college student. All because I made bad decisions, back to back. No plan, no structure, just vibes. I kid you not, once a deposit hit my account, Zara saw me before my landlord did. But that's in the past now, and today I'm here to show you how to create a realistic, stress-free paycheck routine. Yes, the one that actually helped me grow financially. And the beautiful thing is, anyone can do it. Whether you're working a 9-to-5, freelancing, or juggling side hustles, this planning can be tailored to fit your lifestyle. By the end of this video, you'll be inspired to create a plan of your own, putting you miles ahead of where you are now. First thing first, you should always remember this. Paychecks are more than money hitting your account. They're more like your life's energy translated into dollars. And this is so true. Literally, each and every dollar you earn is you, your time, your effort, your hustle. And the sad reality is that millions of people are living paycheck to paycheck. But let me tell you that even high-income specialists aren't spared. So this isn't just about a fat paycheck. They were repeating the same mistake. First, lacking proper financial priorities. It turns out that over 95% of household income is spent on essentials. Stuff like food, gas, utilities, internet, and childcare. Which totally sounds reasonable, but here is the twist. Dining out and must-have Netflix subscriptions are also being treated as essentials too. Raise your hand if you're guilty of this. Vincent Chan, one of my favorite financial YouTubers, explains the ostrich effect so well in one of his videos. He talks about how people bury their hands in the sand when it comes to matter of finance, as if we are ashamed of being called out for our messy choices, or being too out of it to make anything of our realities. And before rushing to spend on anything, always ask yourself, what are my current financial priorities? To get a clear answer, you'll need to know your baseline. A baseline in this case is your financial foundation, your reference point. Write down your needs and wants. It's easy to just see a number in your bank account and make a mental note of what you need to pay off. But trust me, even if you think you've got it all in your head, writing it down helps you make better choices when it comes to transparency of your actual spendings. This will be the same list we'll use when creating the budget. You can try breaking it down into two groups. Fixed expenses, the stuff you can't avoid like rent, unless special someone pays it for you, utilities or debt payments, and variable expenses like groceries, gas, takeout, and those treat-yourself moments. Now open your bank app or credit card statement and scroll through the previous months. I promise you'll find some surprises. That's random app you haven't used in 6 months that's still charging you $4.99, or that one-time Uber Eats binge that turned into a favorite habit. Okay, look, over here, we listen and we don't judge. Believe truly that you can and will have the discipline to stick to your priorities. Currently, I'm self-employed. This means I don't expect a monthly paycheck and any day can be a payday. So every payday can easily turn into a let's open my wishlist day. And before I had a proper routine, I was hooked on the 50-30-20 rule. On paper, it sounds perfect. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or debt. But let's be real, life isn't one size fits all. Your baseline isn't the same as mine, and that's okay. And instead of trying to squeeze your entire life into a pie chart, think of these numbers as more of a guidance. Something to nudge you in the right direction, not to stress you out. Let me give you an example. If you're in a city where rent prices are just outrageous, like New York, you might find that 50% of your income barely covers your rent, let alone everything else. So maybe your budget looks more like 60-20-20 or even 70-10-20. And honestly, all that rent with no view? Run. Personally, I don't have any debt, so I allocate my 20% differently. Half of it goes to self-improvement, courses, books, anything that levels me up. And what I personally like to do is to save that 10% for about 6 months and then use this money for traveling. But don't get me started on my business expenses. They're wild. I spend anywhere from 5 to 10k just to keep things running. That's why knowing your baseline is everything. You can't manage what you don't measure. And what do I use to keep my budget on track? Google Sheets. It's free, it's super easy to use, and it works on your browser. And if you're into apps, there is a version for your phone too. Budgeting does not mean that you have to live like a monk. And that's the first mistake people make. They go completely overboard. If you've been spending $300 on your groceries, don't try to slash it down to $100 overnight. You'll just end up at midnight with a bowl of dry cereal, questioning all your life choices. Be realistic, adjust where you can, but make sure it's sustainable. Here is how I do it. First, I write down my total income at the very top of the sheet. This is the paycheck I'm working with, my starting point. Let's say your paycheck is $2,500 after taxes. Then you break it down. Start with your baseline expenses. These are non-negotiables, the stuff that doesn't change month to month, like rent, utilities, and insurance. Let's say you put about $1,200 into that. Once that's done, move on to your variable expenses. These are things like groceries, transportation, or eating out. Expenses that fluctuate. Let's put $400. Just set a realistic cap for each of these based on what you've spent in the past. Next, pay yourself first. This is non-negotiable. Even if it's just $50, put it aside before anything else. This is your emergency fund, your ballet trip fund, your future me deserves better fund. It doesn't matter how small you start, what matters is consistency. Ideally, $300 is a great amount if you are taking home $2,500. What's left that's equally important is the debt allocation. You can do $100 for that, and then finally, the cool part, fun money, which is like $200. Don't deprive yourself of every little joy. Whether it's a Starbucks run, a cute pair of sneakers, or a spontaneous brunch date, budget for it right here. And just like that, you've taken a huge step and you may not even know it. And one last tip you should have is, once you are stable and disciplined enough, don't get carried away into lifestyle inflation. You get a small raise and suddenly everything is an upgrade. A better apartment, more nights out, a fancier wardrobe. It's tempting, but don't let it throw you off track. Stick with your current lifestyle for a few months and use that extra money to save, invest, or finally pay off the debt. So here is your challenge. As we step into this new year, be ready. Set up your own paycheck plans. Feel free to use the steps I shared and let me know how it goes. Remember, you're the CEO of your finances. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video and follow my channel. It would mean the world. And I'll see you in the next video.